Welcome back. Today we're going to have some fun with numbers and understand the power of loan paydown. This is going to realize in some pretty significant savings, tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So stick around because you're going to be able to apply this to your own situation as well. Remember, as we had spoken in the previous session, loans are pretty much the same, though they're different. Student loans, car loans, personal loans, even mortgages and business loans to a larger extent have the same functional components. They have a principal, they have an interest rate, they have a period of time that you pay it down, and you have a monthly payment. Eventually, it's all done, but the lender ends up with a chunk of change in interest as a result of this process. Today's key points of interest are in particular how you can use additional principal, meaning money that you have in your finances, in your budget, whatever it may be. You put it against the loan. By doing this, you will save time on the loan, and you also save a significant amount of money when it comes to interest that you're not paying back to the lender because you're keeping that money in your pocket. Again, you're going to be able to do this on your own using your numbers, but we're going to walk you through some basic numbers right now. We're going to look at two different types of loans with today's session. The first loan is going to be a student loan. We're using averages with the numbers of the student loan here, so these numbers may not necessarily reflect your numbers, but they're a good starting point to understand how the program and the calculator works. The average student loan principal right now is about $40,000. Student loans tend to be taken out for a 20-year period, but you might be 16 years into your loan. You might be 4 years into your loan. So your term years will be different. And the percentage rate on average of today's student loans are about 5.75%. Again, it varies depending on the loan and depending on your situation. I do not want to focus too much today on the payment itself. This is a loan. This is a loan structure. We saw how those work in the last session. So you're going to understand and know right now that the payment is going to be $281 a month. What you probably don't know right off the top of your head is how much interest will you be paying on that loan over the next 20 years. Quick pop quiz. How much interest do you think this is going to cost over the life of the loan? We are back to our loan calculator. As before, I like to use the bankrate loan calculator, and I'll show you some of the tools here in a little bit. We're starting with a $40,000 loan, and we're going to use it for 20 years. Again, these are averages for student loans. And what I would like to draw your attention to before I hit calculate is what will the total interest paid be whenever we calculate this particular loan structure. Bam! $27,400. That's the amount of money that's going to be paid in addition to the $40,000 that we borrowed from the lender. So what I would like to do at this point is bring your attention to this handy dandy little button right here, add extra payments. Let's assume we were able to find $100 in our budget. That $100 is $100 that would be available consistently. That $100 would be something that we could pay to the loan every month for the life of the loan. This calculator has some other components as well, yearly payments, one-time shot payments, but what I would like for us to draw our attention to is this $100 monthly payment. Maybe you have more than 100. We're just going to use 100 right now. So if we were to apply in monthly payments an extra $100, again, draw your attention to the $27,400 that is our expected interest paid. We're going to calculate this $100. Bam. $15,746. We saved almost $12,000 simply by adding $100 per month to the payment. One other little tool I like to show with this calculator is the amortization schedule. It shows us a couple things, but in particular when we're going to have this paid off. Instead of 20 years from now being December 2043, we're going to have this paid off in 2036. So you're going to save over 7 years in the life of the loan. That is the power of the principal paydown. Maybe we have a little bit more than $100 that we can put into this process. So instead of using $100 of principal paydown, maybe we trim the budget a little bit more, maybe we got a raise, however it may work, we now have $225 per month that we can put towards this particular loan. With $225 added to the $280, our total interest paid is going to be $10,399. So that extra $225 per month is going to keep us from paying $17,000 in interest to the bank. That is significant money that you keep into your pocket. And remember, this is a 20-year loan. We're done in under 10 years. That is the power of principal paydown. So let's recap. By the way, if anybody has a hotkey suggestion to get Visme to be able to just press a key and full screen it, email me. I'm all in for suggestions. So recap, we got a loan. That loan was a $40,000 loan. Here, we'll go back here. 20 years, 5.75%. This was our loan. With that loan, we worked into paying down an extra $100. And putting in the extra $100, we saved $11,654 in interest, and we paid it off in 7.5 years earlier. If we had $225 to pay down our principal, we would save $17,000 in interest, and we would be done 11.5 years earlier. This is some significant savings, and it allows for a lot more flexibility once the loan is paid off. Those numbers are fun. Let's have some fun with some big numbers. We're in our home buying years. We're going to buy a house. And mortgages function very similar to other loans, except that mortgages have other aspects to them. So we're not going to consider the tax payment. We're not going to consider the insurance payment. We're just going to look at the principal and the years and the percentage rate. The average home rate now is $325,000. The term generally is a 30-year term. You can get shorter terms, longer terms. Consult your mortgage professional to get a better understanding. And the percentage rate currently for a reliable borrower for a 30-year loan is about 6.5%. Remember, we don't want to think too much about how the payment's going to play out, so we're just going to tell you right now that that loan payment's going to be $2,054 per month for 30 years. That's what you're paying into your mortgage. So let's go have some fun with numbers. We're going to clear out our student loan here, and we're going to put in our mortgage. It was a $325,000 loan. We're doing this for 30 years, and our interest rate was 6.5%. This should calculate out to about $2,080, $2,054. That's what we had said earlier. Now, I want to draw your attention to this big number. That's the amount of interest that we will be paying back to the lender simply for letting us borrow this $325,000. So when you add it up over 30 years, this $2,000 a month for 360 payments is going to total up to $325,000 plus $414,000. So you're really going to be paying over $700,000 for this $325,000 home. Let's have some fun with numbers. with some magic budgeting, we were able to come up with a $250 extra amount of money in our finances that we can pay into this particular principal. Again, $414,000. We're going to calculate that pay down, and that's going to result in a $290,000 interest paid. So we just reduced over $100,000 simply by paying an extra $250 per month against the loan. And again, if we look at the amortization schedule, instead of paying this off in 2053, right? 30 years from today, we're going to pay this off with just $250 per month extra in 13 years. That's some significant savings. And again, over $100,000. One more fun with numbers maneuver, we were able to conjure up even more money. We're going to put $500 per month against our mortgage. Remember that before this, we were looking at over $400,000 in interest paid. Now we're going to put in $500 extra per month. Our interest paid over the life of our loan is now going to be $227,000. That extra $500 per month is going to save you almost $200,000 in savings. So let's recap. Our $325,000 loan at 30 years, 6.5%, all the numbers that relate to today, will amount to a $2,000 monthly payment. If we put an extra $250 against that loan, we are going to save $123,000 in interest and pay it off 6.7 years earlier. If we put $500 against this loan, we're going to save $186,000 and pay it off 12 years earlier. It's not magic, it's just math, and it's a lot of fun with numbers because it's money that goes back into your pocket. So let's recap. We understood that the additional payment has a significant impact on the structure of the loan. That has a significant impact on the amount of interest we pay to the bank or the lender, and it has a significant impact on the amount of time that we save over the life of the loan. My name's Kevin Elvey. Feel free to email me questions at kalv2@gmail.com. Have fun playing with the power of the principal paydown. Have fun with numbers. Go to that bank rate calculator and have at it with your numbers as well. Thank you very much.